Cool. All right. What's up, guys? Ulisses here. I'm doing one of my late night live session. I'm here with my client and friend Alejandro. Alejandro has been using my training workouts and my diet plan for quite a long time now, and I was in town and he wanted me to come in and train him, so I thought I'd do a session and obviously be able to go live so you guys can see the typical training session that I do. Today we're hitting shoulders, right?
Of course, shoulders.
So we're hitting shoulders today, so I'm going to give you guys some different variations. We're going to use barbell, we're going to use dumbbells, we're going to use cable. We're going to mix it up and have some fun, but I wanted to bring to you guys a live session so you can actually see one of my training sessions and how I train the shoulders. And this is also in my program. I do my custom program. I know it's customized to everyone's individual goals. However, when I train, this is kind of like my style of training. A lot of drop sets, supersets, and different variations. So hope you guys like it, and we're going to have some fun. Before we start, we're going to do some warm-up with the bands. Sometimes I do the band work for shoulders. Sometimes I do what we call like movement sets. If you follow me, you probably know that, where I take really light weight and just kind of do the movement just to get the muscle group ready for the workout. So, all right. So we're going to start with just some light stretches. Nothing at all. Just bring it out and bring it this way. It's good. Just some really good stretches on the, and you can really change the resistance on there. So yeah, just change the resistance. Good. There we go. Very good. Nice. Awesome. That is very good to stretch out a little bit. Just get some movement going before you do any kind of like heavy training. Using the band is really good idea. Sometimes I just warm up for like 5-10 minutes on a cardio machine just to get the blood flow going, get the heart rate up, and then I jump into my workout. But try not to just lift heavy right away. I used to do that for a long time. It's a mistake. Us guys, we don't like to warm up. We just want to get into the training. But it's a good idea. As you get older, you learn, I guess. And getting warmed up and warming up before my training now is essential. So I really preach that to a lot of people. Okay, guys?
Boom.
Yeah, that's it. There we go. We'll probably do about a couple of sets of this, 2 or 3 sets. And there's, again, different variations. So we'll stay here, just kind of come out. Yeah, there we go. That's good. If you can't find a band in your gym for whatever reason, I would suggest you use the cable machine. Go really light on the cable. Do some internal, external rotations. That would help a lot, actually. But if you do have the bands, it's a very good idea to work with them and just get the muscles a little bit loose before you get going. All right. How you feeling?
Yeah, good.
All right, cool. First exercise we're going to do, guys, is dumbbell shoulder press. And we got the dumbbells here, so we pyramid up. So we start light and we go up. As we go up, we reduce the rep range, obviously. So we're going to have a kick-ass session, so let's go. Woo.
How many reps do you want to do?
We shoot for about 12 reps in this one. Time. Two more, come on, up, good job, there we go, now, and relax.
It's freaking warm already.
So guys, I usually stress that you rest about 60 to 90 seconds in between sets, and then we go again. Usually we do about 4 to 5 sets with my routine, but tonight we're going to do 3 sets each. so you guys just get an idea of how we train. And so it's still a good session. We're gonna have fun with it. We'll keep it to 3 sets, or else we'll be here till like 2 hours or so. So we're trying to give you a good high intensity workout so you guys can see that. All right, let's go. Come on, next set. Come on, up. Let's go. 1, down. 2, let's go. Come on. 3, there you go. 4, 5. Let's work, let's work. 2 more, up. 1 more, up, up, up. There you go. Nice. Awesome. There you go. How you feel?
Good, feeling good.
The key reason for this workout, guys, is for you guys to really see a typical training session for me. I don't train a lot of clients anymore, but when I do train my clients, I put them through a good workout, and we really focus on the muscle group that we're training. We do a lot of volume work on there. Alejandro's goal is to really sculpt his physique. He's looking to compete soon, in probably a year or 2, and really want to get into it. And he's told me that actually from day 1 when he actually started with my program. So he's done a great job, actually, a really good job. Came down at how long?
Yeah, I have to say that. I was quite overweight. I use this program and first I lose fat and then just try to build muscle, so you can see just trying to bulk right now. But next year hopefully to compete. So let's see.
That's the goal. It's obviously to get him on stage. But the
Yeah.
key thing is to really build that consistency of training on how to train to build your physique to compete. You do a lot of volume work, you sculpt your physique, especially if you're doing like men's physique, etc.
Yeah.
You really want to get that shape, you want to get the size. Even though we do volume, there's going to be some strength work in there as well, so you're going to build that size a little bit as well with your training. All right, let's go. First set.
This one.
Let's work. Nice work. Come on. Let's go. Up. 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 Nice. Up. Up. There we go. Up. Hey, two more. Come on. Up. 1 more. Up. Up. Work. There you go. Nice. What I want you to do is focus on squeezing and flexing your back and your shoulders. Yes. Poses like that are usually typically very good. Yeah. I do stress that, for example, since Alejandro wants to compete, if you guys see when I do a lot of my training, I do a lot of flexing and stuff like that. That's just from competition days. It's also to build muscle maturity. The more you flex, the more you're in tune with your physique, the more you know the poses, you know what works for your body, what doesn't. And as a competitor, that comes in very handy when you get on stage. So since he wants to compete, I always tell him, pose when you're doing your sessions. Not every single set, but after maybe the first exercise, do some poses, do some squeezing. Squeeze and hold is very important. So if you're doing shoulders, a lot of these poses are very, very good. And you can really just get in tune with that. Get in tune with flexing the muscle, especially the muscle that you're training. Okay, guys? Keep that handy, especially if you're looking to compete. All right, so that's first exercise done. We're still going to stay with some overhead movement. So now we're going to go to barbell. Barbell overhead press. I'm going to have him doing this one standing. So it's a little bit of core activation as well. And we're going to superset this one. So the first exercise, we didn't superset anything. I just wanted to get the blood flow going, and I just wanted to feel it. So now we're going to go into barbell overhead press, and he's going to do a superset combo. You ready?
Yeah, of course. Let's go for it.
Rep range is usually 8 to 10 on this one, and then since you superset it, you're going to drop the rep range a bit. All right, let's go. Come on, up. Come on, up. Up. 6. Come on, 2 more. Up. 7. 3 down. Up. Yes. 8. There we go. All right. two more, two more. Come on, one more. Yes. Drop it. Woo!
It's good. It's good.
So relax a little bit. With the supersets, I usually recommend we do about a minute and a half rest to 2 minutes, just to let the body, the muscle recover, and then we go again. So take a little bit of a break. But guys, I cannot stress the importance of program design, knowing what your goals are. Since he wants to be a competitor, his goals might be different from the regular everyday person. Whatever your goal is, and I mean, we all want to improve our physique. I think that's a typical goal for everyone. But whatever that is, whether it's more size, whether it's more sculpting, whether it's just getting ripped, whether it's just coming down body fat, whatever that is, it's very imperative that you have a proper program design. Now, having a program design that's tailored to you. This is the reason why I run my program I Am Dedicated. It's a customized training program and meal plan that's tailored just for your goals and what you're looking for. I put that together for you, and what I do is update that every month. So every month you get a new training program and you get a new meal plan. And this keeps you going. So one, I don't want you to plateau where you're training all the time and you've been doing the same program for 6 months or 7 months. We don't want that. We want you to be changing your programs every 4 to 6 weeks. So we do it every month, we change it for you, and that way you get going and your meal plans change as well. So it's very, very, very important that you make sure you have a proper program design. Talk to a trainer in your gym, have them design a good program for you based on whether you want to strengthen your legs, whether it's a glute focus, whether it's building a bigger chest, whatever your goals are, talk to a trainer that can put together a customized training program for you. All right? Ready, buddy? Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. Come on. Let's work. Let's work. Up. 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 Come on. 4. Up. 5. You got 3 more. I'm with you. Up. 6. Come on. 2 more. Up. 7. 1 more. Up. 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 8. Good. Bring it down. All right. Take your time. Nice and easy. Yeah, the grip should be a little bit closer. There we go. And we're going to bring it up, keeping the chest up. There we go. Up. 2. Good. Up. 3. Up. 4. Good. Up. 5. Up. 6. 2 more. Sorry. 7. Good. 1 more. Up. 8. Drop it. As you can see, since we're supersetting, he gets fatigued at the end of the second exercise, which is fine. What I call those are like forced reps. Now, those forced reps may not be great in terms of form, but that's what really takes you outside of your box. You see what I'm saying? So you really want to push the pace. If we were training and not pushing it, and you did everything light, absolute proper form, you're not going to grow. So it's really simple. You got to push it sometimes. And those are the kind of reps that's really going to just trigger more muscle growth because you're just breaking it down. So it's nothing wrong with that. He's doing a great job. We got 1 more set on that. How you feeling?
Yeah.
He's sweating, so he's working.
It's a good one.
So it's very, very good. I'm a big fan of the supersets. I'm a big fan of drop sets. It's for me, that's what's worked over the years with my training and also competing over the years. It's done wonders for me. So I really advocate that all the time. So with my clients, I tend to put that into their routine as well. But you get a lot. I do have clients as well that just want to focus on strength. So I train them completely different, where their rep range is like 4 to 6. And we really focus on resting a bit longer, etc. So it's totally different style of training. But most of the people that I work with really, they want to compete, but really want to focus on just being lean, just being fit, and just being able to train every day and build that consistency. So that's what we do here. All right? Relax for another 30 seconds or so, and then we go again.
Yeah, it's really
One
good.
thing I forgot to do is actually put some music on, because I'm crazy about my music, but I think I like it. I like it that it's clean like this, and you guys get a vibe and can clearly hear what I'm saying and hear what my client is saying as well. All right? Take your time. If you feel fatigued on this, you can rest, wrap it up, and we'll go again. Okay?
Let's go.
set. Go. Up. There we go. Let's work. 2. Come on. Up. 3. Up. 4. Up. 5. Good. Focus. Up. 6. 2 more. Up. 7. 1 more. Up. Up. Good. Good. And take your time. Good form. Keep the chest up. Yeah, there we go. 1. There we go. Up. 2. 3. There we go. Up. 4. There you go. Rest at the bottom. That's fine. 5. That's good. Come on. Up. 6. There we go. 2 more. Take your time. Take your time. Come on. Up. 7. 1 more. Up. There we go. Woo! Very good job.
It feels good, man.
Alright.
Whoa.
Let's squeeze it out, work it out. Come on. As you can see, the blood flow is there. You squeeze it in. There we go. Yes. Awesome. That's good. Good job. So now we're going to go into laterals. Now we've done your standard sets with the dumbbells. We've done superset there with the barbell, which is great. Now we're going to go into side laterals. With the side laterals, what I've done here, I remember back in the days I used to do a grueling set where I would do, basically I'll just go down the rack on the lateral raises and probably start from like 25 pounds and come all the way down, something like that. Or even 30 pounds and come all the way down. So it's just crazy. So but we've selected 3 dumbbells and we're going to keep it structured. 12.5 kg, 10 kg and 8 kg. So we're basically going to start with 12, come down to the 8, and we do 3 sets. We do a drop set on that. All right? Relax. Go. All right. Come on. Good form. Remember when you raise it, keep the chest up. Come on. There you go. And up. There we go. 4, 5, come on, 6, 2 more, 7, 8, 10, come on, up, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, come on, keep going, 8, 2 more, 2 more, 1 more, 10, 8, let's work, let's work, let's work. Keep the chest up. Come on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on. 8. Come on. 9. You're doing 12. 10. 2 more. And awesome. Killer drop set. When I used to do these, I used to feel like my arms just want to fall off. So I can imagine. And I still do these actually. I do drop sets on lateral raises. I do drop sets on front raises. And actually, I have a special finisher for you guys with him, so you'll see. But we've got 2 more sets of these. As you can see, we're doing 3 sets of everything. And the key thing is just to get the blood flowing there, get the volume working there. With shoulders, I train different. I go a little bit lighter and focus on rep. When I train legs, for example, legs for me is more about volume. Shoulders for me is more about volume. When I do chest, I go for more strength. And then at the end, my finisher is more volume. So it depends on the muscle group that I'm training. I change it. There's some variations there. And I really go for volume on some of the muscle groups. And some of the muscle groups, I focus more on strength on that. So that's usually how I train. But based on what my clients want, I put together a program for them that's best suited for them. So if you have any questions and you need a training program, I would suggest you go to my training website, which is iamdedicated.ulissesworld.com. That's iamdedicated.ulissesworld.com. We'll put together a training program for you. You answer some questions. You see loads of people on there that have helped over the years, that's done amazingly well. I'm great friends with a lot of them actually, And I still actually keep in touch with them to this day, and I help them a lot with their training program. So go on there, check it out, drop me a message and an email, sign up for the program, put together a program for you, put together a meal plan for you, which is very important. Your diet and nutrition is key. I always state that all the time, and we update that for you every month. All right, guys? So if you have any questions, check it out. How you feeling?
Good.
All right, let's go. There we go. So, come on. 3, 4, 5, 3 more. 6, 7, and 8.
Burning.
Yeah. Let's work, let's work, let's work. Come on. Raise it. Here we go. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come on, focus. 9. One more. 10. There we go. And last but not least. Woo. Let's make it happen. Come on. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Come on. 10. 2 more. 11, 12. Good job. Shake it off. Get a drink of water. And we'll come back. All right? Good. So guys, whatever you're training, another thing I want to state is the intensity. Intensity of your workout. You gotta keep that intensity because that's really gonna set you apart from some. When I walk into a gym, I see people just kind of like taking their time, sitting on the bike, reading the book, do one set, then rest for 5 minutes, then do another set. You're not gonna get to your goals that way. You're gonna get to your goals by keeping the intensity, keeping the pace going. Heart rate is up, supersetting, drop setting, pushing the pace. Even volume training, if volume training is not your thing, even if it's strength training, your focus is there. So the mental focus is there. You're ready. As soon as you walk into a gym, you're ready to throw some weight around. That's just the way I think usually when I walk into a gym. And I travel everywhere, so it doesn't really matter where I'm traveling or where I'm going. But when I walk into a gym, I'm ready to throw down. That's just the way I see it. So I want my clients to have that same mentality. I want them to focus on their workouts and really complete it and really push themselves and really go outside of that, you know, your box, your comfort box. You want to step outside of that. Push the pace. It's key. The intensity will set you apart from people that just train regularly. All right. How you feeling? Good. All right. We've got one more set. Get ready. Keep the focus, and we'll go again. All right.
Good.
All right. Let's go. Woo. Come on. Come on. 2. Let's go. 3, 4. There you go. 5. Nice. 6, 7. Come on. Come on. 8. Good. Switch it. There we go. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
That's one.
Come on. Make it happen. Let's make it happen. Come on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Come on, come on. 7. Raise it up. 8, 9. Come on, you got 3 more. 10. 2 more. 11. We're not stopping. Let's go. There you go. Awesome. Squeeze it out. Flex the shoulders. Good. Hold it. Give yourself a good 10-second, 15-second hold on the shoulders. That's good. Awesome. There you go, yeah. You show it. Yes. Yeah, there you go. Awesome. There we go. Nice. That's what we want.
Feels so good. It's so good.
So before we go to the finisher, we're not done yet. We're gonna do some posterior work. Now, the thing with shoulders is a lot of guys do some front raises, overhead press, lateral raises, but usually tend to neglect the posterior delts. So posterior delts is very important. When you talk about your shoulders, you want that roundness, so you see the posterior as well, and you make sure you really work on that, and you see that, and it's there. So you want to work all three heads, you know, anterior, medial, and posterior. Posterior is key, so you need to stay on that. Sometimes I do 2 or 3 exercises on posterior delts. Sometimes when I hit back, I focus on upper back, and then I really like hammer my posterior delts as well. So sometimes I just mix things up like that. But a lot of guys tend to forget about it, so or neglect it, and maybe do one exercise on it, and then that's it. So we're gonna focus on some cable work now, just to switch it up from dumbbells. Do some cable work on the posterior, all right? Drop this down a bit. So we want this face move. We want it at eye level a bit, and just a little bit. So the next set, bring it in, keep the elbows parallel to the shoulders, and then you really get the squeeze on the rear delts. On the last set, I'm going to do a drop set on that, but this one will be a standard set. So we'll hit it again. How you feeling?
Good.
That's good. Now, how do you feel with the program overall?
I have to say, this program, sorry, I guess a bit tired. This program just depends on your goals. So first of all, I just wanted to lose weight, specifically what we want, you know. So it's perfect for your goals. If you want to do, if you want to lean out, everything. So actually, it's working really well for me. You can see just the pump. It's going well.
The key thing is, like, for him, when I looked at what he wanted to achieve and his goals, I kind of broke it down into 2 key factors. When he came to me, he was overweight slightly, and what we wanted to do was bring the body fat down. Bring the body fat down so you get to a comfortable state. Yeah. And the reason for that, for me anyway, is to improve your fitness. Bring the body fat down, get the body a bit lighter, build that consistency of just coming to the gym, working, hitting some cardio in combination with your weights, etc., and just kind of coming down, and also making sure your diet is very good. So we did that, and he was able to actually lean out and look really good. I probably posted some of your transformation pics on there, and he got lean, and that was great. So now what we want to do is focus on sculpting and actually really focusing on the different muscle groups. So if we're training chest, we really focus on that, really get that pump. If we're training shoulders, really focus on that. So once I brought him down, and now the work starts in terms of building the physique and trying to get him to compete and, you know, obviously hit the stage. So it's getting that shape, that stage-ready shape that I usually call it. And actually he's been doing a good job. So he's a young guy. He's got lots of years ahead of him in terms of really competing and doing what you want to do. But the main thing is to really get you with a good program that you can use and be able to change all the time and mix it up and know exactly how to train the muscle group that you're training. All right? Let's go. Second set. Focus. There we go. Come on. 5, 6. So you guys can see. 7. Good. 8. 9. 10. Give me 2 more. 11. And 1 more. Hold it. 12. Good job. It's important when you're doing face pulls and you're trying to target your rear delts, you keep the elbows up. That's very important. The minute you drop it, it becomes more of a row, and we don't want to do a row, so we want to focus more on the rear posterior delts. All All right, guys? That's very important. All right. You want to get a drink?
Yeah.
Get a drink. It's also very important that you stay hydrated with your training sessions and keep a water close by, get a drink in between sets. And that way it keeps the intensity going, it keeps the energy there as well, and then you can really just power through your workout. All right. I'm probably getting a lot of questions on there, but I'm just trying to actually go through the session. I might take a little bit of time after the session to go through some questions with you guys. I actually get loads of questions. Last week was, I think last week or 2 weeks before, we did more of a Q&A, and today is more of a training session. So I like to mix it up and just give you guys some different looks on what I do and how I train people, questions, Q&A, stuff like that. Next time, maybe I might just be training and you guys can see my training, how I do my own workout just by myself. So I appreciate the live sessions. I hope you guys like it. I get tons of feedback on it. So I'm trying my best to do it every weekend for you guys. I hope you like it. All right, ready for the last set? All right, let's do it. We're going to do 10, 10, and 10, 30 reps. And I'll drop it each time before you start the 10. All right. That's it. All right. Push the pace a bit. All right. Chest up. There we go. Work it. Bring it in. 1. There we go. 2. Nice. 3. 4. There we go. 5. 6. Nice. 7. 8. 9. And hold. Hold. Bring it down. All right. Woo. Let's go. Hold that. Good squeeze. And awesome. Good job. Get the squeeze on the shoulders. Let's flex it out. Very good. Nice. Very good. Very good.
It's working.
Yes.
It's working. It works a lot, trust me.
That's good.
It does.
So guys, typically, like I said, we'll be doing 4 to 5 sets. So on the 5th set, we'll do a drop like that. So we're keeping everything to 3rd set, so we can, we'll be here for 2 hours. But now we're gonna do the finisher. Now the finisher for shoulders today is front raises with a plate. This is a brutal finisher. I actually did these earlier today when I trained. And I felt them, so I felt it really hard, so now I'm going to dish it out on him, and he's going to feel it. So, but it's a brutal finisher. It's good. I love this finisher. I can really feel it when I do it, and it really targets the anterior delts. So we're going to have fun with it. We're going to do 3 sets. It's a drop. So we got 3 10 kg plates on there. We shoot for 8 reps. Actually 6 reps on the first one. Then we go to 8 to 10, then we go to 10 to 12. So that's the goal. 6 to 8, 8 to 10, 10 to 12. All right? Take your time, good form.
Kill me.
There we go. 1, 2, good. 6 reps. 3, good. 4, 5, one more. Up. 6, drop 1. Good. 2. Shoot for about 8 reps on this. 2. A little bit slower. 3. Yes. Come on. 4. 5. Come on. 6. You got 2 more. Come on. 7. One more. Up. Good. Drop. Let's go. What you got? This is the last one now. Come on. Good. 2. Good. There we go. 3. Keep the focus. Keep the focus. 4. Good. A little bit slow. 5. Yes. Control. 6. Good. Come on. 7. Good. 8. Come on. 2 more. 9. And try to hold. Hold, 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 hold. Woo! There you go. Let's just see we build the intensity. This is the finisher. We're going to do one more set. Usually I do about 2 sets on finishers.
This.
2 sets on finishes is what I usually do. So if I'm doing 4 or 5 sets typically on all my exercises, the finisher is usually 2 sets. But those 2 sets are pretty much like doing 6 sets because I'm doing like a triple set drop or triple set or like a superset on something. So you really just want to fatigue and really destroy the muscle that you're actually working on, and that's the key. So I want, when I'm done with my session, I feel like, you know what, I couldn't have done any more, really, even if I wanted to. So that's the way I like to feel when I train, and I've been training like that for years. I mean, I may not train as crazy as I used to before. I'm a little bit older now, so I just a little bit wiser, that's what I say. So I don't go too crazy, but I still push the pace for my age. I still keep going. I still want to get results. I think that's the thing. It's all about getting results. And that's what I tell my online clients when I talk to them. It's all about getting results. You want to get results. So you need to always push the pace. You need to always challenge yourself. If you're not challenging yourself and you're in your comfort zone and you're happy with that, then you're not going to see results. Like I tell people, human beings, we're creatures of habits, right? If we wake up every morning and run a mile, it becomes very easy. I mean, once you do that every single day, it's easy. It becomes, even I'm not a runner, but if I do a mile every day, it's going to be easy for me. So you wake up the next morning and you run up a hill. Now that's a different story. So, and it may not even be something crazy. It just be a small hill, but it's different. So that change, your body's shocked and your body's like, whoa, what's going on? So that's why I keep changing my routines around. That's why I keep my intensity up. I'm always trying to push myself and challenge myself. And I tell that to everyone. This is not even now about bodybuilding or anything. You could be a swimmer, you could play tennis, you could play football. It doesn't really matter. Whatever you're doing, do it, but push yourself and challenge yourself. Once you challenge yourself, you start seeing results and your body will change. Okay? We got one more set. Ready, man? Let's finish strong, all right? All right. 4 to 6 reps on the first one. And again, you just...
So this.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Come on. Let's work. 1. Nice. Up. 2. Good. Up. 3. Good. Come on. Up. 4. We got 2 more. Take your time. 5. Nice and easy. Up. 6. Yeah, very good. Control. Just up. Up. 1. There we go. Up. 2. Nice. Up. 3. Up. 4. 5. Bit more control. Come on. 6. Yes. Come on. 7. That's good. That's good. Control. Up. 8. There we go. 1 more. We're working. Come on. We're going to finish strong. Let's go.
Dedicated, papi.
Let's go.
Woo.
Up. 1. Come on. Up. 2. Good. Up. 3. There we go. Up. 4. Nice. Up. 5. Come on. Up. 6. Come on, you got this. 7. Come on, come on. Up. 8. 2 more. Up. 9. 1 more. hold. There you go. Awesome. Good one. How you feel?
That was really good one.
So as you can see, guys, good stuff. Squeeze out the shoulders. Yes, there we go. Feel it. Extend it. Yes. Always bring that in. There we go. As you can see, even with the red delts, hold it. Then you raise it up a bit. Yeah. There we go. You want to always make sure you work it. So when you hold it like that, just bring it up like that. Like that. Yes, there we go. Good bit. There we go. There we go. So you see the red delts? Yes. There we go. That's it. Raise it up, bring it in, and you see that. What we want to work is work medial, posterior, anterior. Always flex the shoulders, squeeze, hold it, and the shoulders pop out. Yes. There we go. Awesome. How you feel, alright?
I have to say that I've been training not like that, similar, but this is another level. That's why you have to follow this program. It's been working for me for the last 6 months. I've been working with him. You can see the sweating, the pump, everything's
The
amazing.
key thing with these workouts, guys, I love, like I say, the intensity. I cannot stress that enough.
Yeah.
When you build that intensity and you work with intensity, you just feel like you've achieved something. So every day when you come to the gym, you feel like you leave it on the gym.
Yes.
You want to come here. You come here to build. You walk into that gym, the mind frame is to build your physique. It's just really that simple. And then you leave everything there. So for me, doing one set, resting, doing another set, resting, doesn't really work for me. I don't feel like the intensity is there. So that's one of the reasons why I do a lot of my trainings with superset and drop sets. But that being said, your goals might be different. So whatever your goals is, just make sure you have a complete training program that you can follow. If you're not sure and you want to really learn the type of program that works for you, visit imdedicated.ulyssesworld.com. I'll put together a training program for you there that you can follow, and I'll be able to update that for you every single month. I also give you a meal plan on there, and we have 24-hour email support on there. We have a Facebook community. With the Facebook community, there are thousands of people that have signed on to my Facebook community, and they're posting their workouts on there, their transformation pictures. We actually discuss a lot of stuff, training techniques. I put a lot of tips on there for people, how I train core, how I train chest, how I train back. If you're looking for back thickness, width, etc., chest thickness, I have so many tips on there. So if you join my program, you'll have access to my Facebook community, and you'll be able to see a lot of these tips that I'm talking about. We also have a members-only app. Now with the members-only app, you sign in. Once you become a member, you receive the link for the app. You download the app, and it has hundreds of exercises on there that you can look at. If you're not sure when you get your program, you can always go to the app and get the exercise there. So that's good. I'm going to be updating my app also with a lot of articles, some more exercises on there. So we're going to give you a lot more on the app as well. But overall, guys, the key thing is getting a good program design that's suited for you. So make sure you visit imdedicated.ulyssesworld.com. I'll be bringing you a lot of different training. Next week, I might do a session here myself, or have another one of my clients that I'm working with. One thing I'm going to do when I travel, I'm going to find my different clients around the world and do a training session with them so you guys can see how I train them. And this is how I usually would train my clients. It's just high intensity, really put them through a proper workout so they can really feel what they're training, what they're working on, and they feel like they've done something. I think that's the most important thing, and they've completed a proper session in the gym. And then imagine training like this every single day or every other day, like 4 times a week, 5 times a week, for like 10 years. I mean, I've been doing that for 25 years, 26 years. So it's quite a long time. So, but I still train that way. I mean, I may not train as heavy as I used to, but I still train that way. I still keep the intensity. I still push myself. So know what your limits are, but always push yourself so you can do better. I think that's the key thing.
Yeah, that's the key.
Well, it was really nice training you today, man.
Thank
I
you
really
very much.
appreciate it. Now, Alejandro is going to do some stretches. It's very important that after you train, you do some stretch, get some stretch in there, do some cool downs. If your goal is probably fat loss, then you probably want to do some more cardio or do some cardio sessions after your weights. That's one thing that I always stress as well. If fat loss is your goal, make sure you do your weights first. After you've done your weights, then you go and do your cardio sessions. We have a lot of cardio programs on my customized training program. And another thing I want to say that I get tons of message on, you don't have to do my programs in the gym. So if you're a stay-at-home mom, or you don't have a gym membership, or you just like training at home because you have some dumbbells at home and you just want to do your own thing, that's totally fine. I can put together a training program for you that you can do at home. I actually had one of my clients, and he messaged me and he was saying that, look, I got a track behind my house and I have some dumbbells in my garage. I don't really want to use the gym. Can you put together a program for me? And I said, yeah. I put together a program for him, and he actually messaged me back and was like, yo, this is really, really good. I'm so psyched. So now he trains in the morning at the track behind his house. So I can put together a program for you no matter where you want to train, whether it's your garage, whether it's a track behind your house, whether there's a park down the road from your house. Wherever it is, I can put together a program for you. I used to always tell people, give me a garage and a few dumbbells and I can train. So it's just how I do it. So I can do that for you. So you don't have to have a gym membership to have my program. You can have my program at home. You can do a lot of home workouts. You can do a lot of things. So just check out the website, iamdedicated.ulyssesworld.com, and you can check it out, and I'll be able to put together the program for you. Another thing I want to stress is diet, guys. Diet is very, very important. Diet is key. I always say the diet is even more important than the training, because if your diet is clean and your diet is really good, consistent anyway, you will be able to see results a lot quicker. That's the difference of seeing results in 6 weeks or 12 weeks or even longer. A lot of people do the workouts. Like, we all can train. I always say this, but not all of us can diet. And when I say diet, you don't have to go on a strict diet. I mean, I used to do it because I was competing, so my diet was super strict. But I'm talking about having a clean, consistent diet. Something that you follow that's clean and you can eat every day without having to like starve yourself and not really eat properly. You want to eat properly. It's all about eating right, not starving yourself, eating right. So if you learn how to eat right, and if you're not sure, again, we can put together a diet, a meal plan for you that you can follow. It's all about, a diet is king. I always say that, the food is king. So food is more important. I take supplements, I have my protein, aminos, etc. But I always stress that it's important to have a proper meal and make sure you have a good meal. But keeping your diet consistent would help you, because you would have more energy, you'd be able to train, you're not starving yourself, and that is very important. Okay, guys, I always post about diet stuff, so make sure you check that out as well, or check out the website like I mentioned. Now, I think I might have a few questions here. Do I have any few questions there? If not, I think we're going to clock out for today. We've been here quite long enough, actually. I really, guys, I really appreciate the time that you guys take to watch this. I appreciate all the love I get, all the messages. I can't really reply to everyone, but I'll do my best to get back to a lot of people. And also when I'm traveling, I'll be posting to let you guys know where in the world I'm going to be. And that way I can kind of link up with a client or even someone there and do a training session. I think that's very, very good. It's all about educating the masses. And obviously, you guys are a young generation coming up, you're training, building your physique. So if I can give you a little bit of advice that can help you get good results, I'll be happy to do that. Okay, guys? Thank you so much for all the support. I'll see you next week on the live. Okay, guys? Peace.